The columbines nod their delicate heads as the wind blows down from Mount Evans. A cloud passes over the sun and cloaks the scene in a moment of darkness before the morning brightness resumes. Elevation 10,600 feet, breathtaking. The pines cluster in a crescent to accommodate the curve of Echo Lake on the other side of the trees. After a long winter, the water is mercurial silver. Chipmunks scurry in the branches as an eagle circles above, riding the currents of a cerulean blue Colorado sky. The clouds stretch thin. You lean against a boulder, the salmon-colored rock encrusted with green lichen and bits of mica. The chunks of quartz flash in the sunlight. The yellow police tape flutters in the breeze as it draws a circle around the scene. Do not cross. You will never again see the monstrous aloe vera plants native to your home state that grew along your driveway like so many spiky octopi. And you will never watch another sleepy alligator creep across the lawn at night or gaze up at you with its prehistoric demon eyes as you sneak a cigarette on the back deck. No more swaying palm trees. No more Everglades, no more old people everywhere, no more spring break, no more Florida man. Your backpack is where you tossed it, and despite the patches of snow that cling to the ground, you weren't cold at all when you first stripped off your clothes, scattering them in the woods like breadcrumbs as you ran a zigzag through the trees naked. But now that you've spent the night here alone, you are freezing. The hole in your heart is at once a void and a valentine, the solitary red rose you always wanted to be given. The petals unfurled where once the blood bloomed hot. This is like a new section. You check yourself in the mirror first, the one on the medicine cabinet in the Jack and Jill bathroom upstairs with 3 panels you can adjust so your reflection will repeat into infinity. You added the black lipstick and wingtip eyeliner again, even though it's not right for the role you're playing, but it's become your signature look. You're not the only one in MBK who mixes and matches themselves with the characters they play. You are all hybrids, split and divide. No one is home, but still you're jumpy. Too much caffeine and sugar, you're addicted to Starbucks, iced caramel macchiatos. You're embarrassed by how cliche that is, but at least you don't order them skinny. You've locked the bathroom doors as well as the front door downstairs and the sliding door off the kitchen deck. Then you rigged a series of booby traps throughout the house so you'll hear them coming if you lose track of time again, or if they leave early because Oliver gets sick or scared or something. Your stepmom has a lot of rules, including no shoes in the house. This is where your half-brother's Legos come in handy. Strewn about, hidden in the plush white carpet at the top of the stairs, these landmines of hard plastic are guaranteed to elicit an audible ouch if not an actual cuss word. Plus, they'll have to blame Ollie for the mess, not you. You'd feel bad if he ever actually got into trouble, but he never does. They're too focused on you. Beth calls it trying to draw Eve out of her shell. You call it the first degree. But they should be gone for hours. Tonight is family night. According to the contract you made with Joy, the family therapist, you're supposed to be with them too, but you feigned exhaustion from all the extracurricular drama club work you've been doing to get ready for winter break, plus the college application course you signed up for, all those practice essays on what makes you stand out from the herd. You also said you'd gotten your period because it always embarrasses Dad, and sure enough, he said it was okay for you to stay home before Beth had a chance to object. If you think about it, you can see them at the movie theater now. You've always been good at looking into places where you aren't actually present. You used to think it was just that vivid imagination teachers cited on all of your report cards, but you're not so sure anymore. It seems so real sometimes you wonder if maybe you do move through time and space, like astral projection or something crazy. Anyway, there they are, the three of them sitting together in the middle row toward the center where Beth likes to sit. Before Beth, you and Dad always sat in the back and he'd say, just like the cool kids do. Sometimes he'd tell you about the dates he'd go on with your mom when they were in high school. Benny and June, A Nightmare Before Christmas, True Romance. How they'd put their feet up on the seats in front of them and share a large cherry Coke. Interview with a Vampire, Ed Wood, Heavenly Creatures. They'd mix Junior Mints with popcorn to get that salty, sweet, buttery mint combo of flavors. Reality Bites, What's Eating Gilbert Grape, Natural Born Killers. Dad sits between Beth and Oliver with a tub of popcorn on his lap, and the lavender light from the previews flickers across their faces. Beth is probably passing out the natural wet wipes she carries in her purse that smell like oregano and wet dog. She'll say something like, I wish Eve had come, or I hope Eve is feeling better. She's worried Dad will stop loving her if she doesn't keep this up, this act she performs where she claims to love you like one of her own. She calls you her bonus daughter too, never uses step. You should see the reactions she gets from the other moms. They act like she's Mother Teresa or something, as if a stepdaughter is the end of the world, a death sentence. When you pointed this out in therapy 2 weeks ago, Beth shrugged and looked at her hands, which she keeps folded in her lap, as if she's afraid of what they might do. And then she said, I just want Ollie to feel like he has a normal family where everyone belongs. And this is where you don't disagree with her. You're just not delusional. For a second, you allow yourself to study your 5-year-old half-brother as you imagine him sitting there on his booster seat at the Cineplex in the new shopping mall. Oliver's eyes are magnified by the Coke bottle lenses he has to wear to correct his lazy eye. The glasses strapped to his head so he won't lose them. SpongeBob jumping around the black strip of thick elastic band. His ears stick out and you hate the fact you call him Dumbo sometimes. He's skinny like you are, the kind of skinny that can't gain weight, the kind of skinny that will get him called weak. And he's got the same almond-shaped eyes as you do, the same reddish-brown hair, even if yours is black from a bottle. He's excited to see the new Star Wars movie, even though you told him they all suck now. And his crooked smile makes his dimples nearly poke all the way through his chubby cheeks, as if someone stuck him there with a needle. He's your little brother, so of course you think he's cute because you love him, but you see all the strikes against him, all the flaws the mean kids will target. The years of being bullied yet to come if it hasn't already started. Kindergarten was when you first became other, the girl without a mommy. The girl with the perpetually uneven pigtails your dad wrestled with every morning until he gave up and you got the bad pixie cut. The girl who ate grilled cheese with tomato soup from a can for dinner too much. It just got worse the older you got, especially when some genius decided you should skip the 4th grade, convinced your dad it would be for the best, in the long run, they said. You contemplate the empty seat beside Ollie. Imagine what it'd be like to sit there, to hold his hand if he does get scared, which he probably will, to be the kind of big sister you'd wished for. But then you look at the actual girl in the glass across from you in the bathroom to remember who you are and why you stayed home. Split and divide. Except for the makeup, she's dressed like a boy, but you figure it's okay to embrace your inner goth because goth was big in the 90s when everything was better. The 90s when you should have been alive. The 90s where you belong. The 90s when your mom was a teenager, when she was goth too. Only according to her diaries, her friends all called themselves death rockers instead, which you love so much. The idea of rocking death, none of this wishy-washy emo crap. Your mom was hardcore. The hair is hard to get right, and it being black now doesn't do you any favors. Until you can find the perfect wig, you've taken to slicking it back with lots of product like how he wore it the night he went to prom. Still, you're worried people will think you've gotten the boys confused, when really you know everything about them. You know them better than they even knew themselves. If only you'd been alive at the time, been Elle's girlfriend and R's close friend, then maybe everything would be different. You started binding even though nobody 00 said it was fucking hot when you didn't, said it was gender bending and screw anything straight. But then Harris Forever and NB Killa 666 called him a fag, and the one meme started to circulate where someone had photoshopped nobody 00's profile picture to look like he had hanged himself. Then nobody 00 stopped posting anything. He didn't even comment on your pictures or videos anymore, and you almost stopped participating in the private Reddit and Tumblr groups, only to find you couldn't stay away. You are addicted. It's the only place people notice you. Hashtag MBK forever. So here you are again on Cosplay Saturday, wearing the Wrath t-shirt you made using the iron-on letters you got for Christmas a year ago, and the black cargo pants you scored from the Goodwill by the freeway where the palm trees look dead. You lifted the trench coat from the costume rack after rehearsal last night at school, but the combat boots you ordered from Poshmark haven't come yet. You'll have to film yourself from the waist up because your Converse don't fit the part and being barefoot is more comfortable. You still don't have his tech DC-9 because of all the bans and strict gun laws and the fact you're a minor for another 2 months, but you've improvised. To recreate the look, you used one of your dad's sock garters as the shoulder holster and a water pistol you found in your brother's closet, which surprised you because Beth doesn't let him have toy guns, not even a G.I. Joe, and you realize that's why it was wrapped in an old beach towel. That even Ollie has his secrets too, that he has more potential than you give him credit for, but you took it anyway. Then you made the clip out of cardboard and wrapped the whole thing in black gaffer tape, also appropriated from a rehearsal for Singing in the Rain, the current stage production your school is doing, where you're practically doing all of the behind the scenes work. While you get that part of your job is to literally blend in with the shadows, to wear all black and just disappear like you always do anyway, it'd still be nice if just one of them could learn your name or use it. You used to wonder why anyone would ever put glass marbles in a vase and call it decor, but now you use the marbles in the vase your stepmonster arranged on the bathroom counter to hold your selfie stick in place. And really, you can't think of a better setup that isn't actually designed for such an operation. You position your phone just so before you cue the playlist you've titled The Nobodies, and the first song is ready to go. Pumped Up Kicks, one of those earworm one-hit wonders. The band's been backpedaling lately in the media about what the song really means, like that's the only reason they're not topping the charts anymore. And you think about Harris Forever, who's always going on about how triggered trigger culture makes him feel. Quickly, you practice the closing move where you use your pointer finger as the gun in tandem with the dance you've been choreographing all month, as inspired by Nancy Sinatra, who Quentin Tarantino turned you onto via the Kill Bill movies you worship at the altar of. You tried again and again to draw the gaffer tape gun instead of relying on your finger, but 50% of the time the makeshift clip got caught on the holster, which wasn't sexy, so you settled on this alternative. You leave that gun holstered as a part of your costume and shoot 3 imaginary targets with your finger in a fluid motion of flipping your wrist in 3 different directions. Each time you point, you shuffle through the lineup of people who have hurt you over the years. Pop, pop, pop. Beth pops up more often than not, but so does Charity Paez. You keep your thumb erect, and to mark the end of the performance, you blow pretend smoke from your fingertip. You do this now to confirm you're as ready to shoot this video as you will ever be. Then you take a deep breath, Draw the air from outside your body into your lungs and let it fill your belly, like Miss Delia tells everyone to do during warm-ups at rehearsals. You even pull it through your arms and legs, feel it suck in through the top of your head, and then slowly, slowly you exhale. When you hit record, he appears again. You can see him in the mirror smiling his senior photo smile at you. He's sitting behind you on the tank of the toilet like it's a park bench or something, and his boots are resting on the toilet lid your stepmom decorated with seahorse decals, the same shade of teal as the marbles in the vases, teal accents that pop because both the bath mat and the shower curtain are the same color, whereas everything else is a virginal white you're scared of. Just before you hit play for the music, he winks at you, and he's not just a picture anymore. He says, if only Miss Delia could see you, she'd make you the star of the show. You're still facing the mirror because it helps keep you grounded when you do the routine, but you also know he'll disappear if you look at him directly. His reflection looks your reflection in the eye, and he says, lights, camera, action, and it's showtime. Even though it came out in 1989, you've memorized every single line in the Heathers because that's where it all began. Quintessential to the 90s, it served as a prophecy of all to come, minus the smartphones and social media. Winona Ryder is 1/3 of the triple goddess you worship that includes Juliette Lewis and Courtney Love. It's the first day of 2019, and you have the house all to yourself, which means the yearly ritual should be perfect. You're up in the crawl space attic again, kneeling before the pop-up altar you made from your mom's old trunk, the ready-made shrine where all you have to do is lift the lid. The built-in tray both protects her stuff below and serves as the surface for placing the 3 tall votive candles you're lighting now. You decoupaged each one with the likeness of each goddess. Veronica is pictured first, her face smudged with soot and framed by a helmet of her almost black hair, as electrified by the very explosion she used to light the cigarette she's sucking on. She gets a gold glitter frame, and written in black Sharpie, the caption reads, "You're an unscrewed up reaction to a screwed up situation." Then there's Mallory as bride. It took you nearly forever to locate and cut out all the letters to make the caption in the style of ransom letters. For all eternity until you and I die. Rattlesnake's X-Acto knife from National Geographic's to Ouroboros her. For Courtney, last but not least, a close-up from the doll parts video you captured via screenshot where her red mouth pops like candy. Red nail polish for her frame, red Sharpie to write, "I love him so much, it just turns to hate." Winona is 1/3 triple goddess because, duh. Juliette because of natural born killers, of course. And Courtney because she's the queen of grunge. Even if she did go and get Kurt killed, you know how much love hurts. She just wanted them to be together forever. On the inside of the trunk's lid, you've stuck black carpet tacks to each of the 2 top corners, then strung a line of black embroidery thread between them. Using one of the miniature silver clothespins you shoplifted from Michael's, you've hung a black and white photo of your mom in the middle. You are careful to protect the 8x10 print. It was taken when she was your age. Barefoot and wearing a gauzy white Gunny Sacks dress, she poses in front of a concrete cemetery angel, so its wings become her wings. The Rockies rise up behind her. Snow-capped guardians, the composition is absolute perfection. The ornate iron spikes of the fence to her left rising into the arched gate. The willow on the other side weeps over the crumbling tombstones that punctuate the uneven ground as they all face eternity. You've laid out the offerings already. A clove cigarette from the head shop by the beach. A can of Jolt Cola you had to order from Amazon. All the sugar and twice the caffeine. A tube of black lipstick you bought from Hot Topic. And a caramel candy bar because Dad says your mother craved them the whole time she was pregnant with you. This is the New Year's Day ritual. You put your earbuds in as you fully settle into the kneeling position that is proper for the praise and the prayers to come. You play a game you call the Spotify Oracle, where you select shuffle for the playlist you've dedicated to your mother, all the songs you know she listened to and loved, plus all the songs she never got to hear in the flesh, songs you know she would have loved just as much as you do. When Shuffle selects Just Like Heaven, it's one more sign from beyond the veil, a message you receive by holding your hands up in revelation, palms out and fingers spread like rays on a star. Every day it becomes more and more clear what it is that you are meant to do.